Hey, party people, what is up? What is up? What is up? Guys, there is some pretty big news that dropped today regarding Waven and the future and the state of the game. It is currently April 4th, 2025. They did a stream earlier today, very similar to what they do with their Ankama lives regarding Dofus 3.0, Dofus Touch. They did, how long is this? Hour and a half of news. They answered questions. They went over a lot of stuff. I was going to cover the stream here, but it's on French. So, fortunately, somebody did translate a quick summary here, and I'm just going to read it here verbatim. So, shout out to Cookie542 from Reddit, the Waven Reddit. This post was stolen from the French Discord, and Ponce did whatever to make it English. I'm not original. It was alright, we still appreciate it. Ankama Live 4425 summary. Waven will undergo a major overhaul, which includes the following. A complete pause of the game. No more battle passes, no more seasons. The game is halted. Let's keep going. The release has been delayed once again, with a new beta in September and a release in December. Depending on the results of the beta, it may be postponed again. There will be significant changes across many aspects of the game. These major changes will inevitably lead to a hard reset on all accounts, and all accounts will be reset to 0. Cosmetic items will be kept. Compensations for the reset are still under discussions. These will probably be adjusted based on the current account progress, but there are no guarantees. This is being done to secure a brighter future for Waven. You know what? I wouldn't say I saw this coming, but the game technically is in early access. And this is kind of like the next big MMO they're trying to get off the ground. What they have here with the current state of Waven, it's not doing what it needs to do, right? Which is kind of like bringing in new people, keeping them engaged and stuff like that. I've talked about Waven here with the few videos I do have in the channel. In terms of like dev, there's not a whole lot to do, which is kind of expected, right? A lot of people would like to make the comparison to Waven, to Dofus and Wackful, right? But you got to remember that Dofus has 20 years worth of content updates under its belt. Waven, it's going on a year, maybe a little bit over a year. And it's still in early access, right? The game never released and never launched and never got out of that beta phase. And this stuff happens, right? This is not anything new or different and anything crazy that's unique to Waven. Games get hard reset all the time recently. With the whole announcement of Switch 2, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, it's like the big flagship title Nintendo has been working on. I think that game got hard reset like 4 years into development. So this is nothing new. But I'm glad they recognize the issues the game has and they're pivoting, right? And hopefully to make this in the effort to make this a stronger and more lasting game, right? Because Raven it's cool. I dig it. Why they overhaul? The many gameplay mechanics of Wavens are not suited for the target audience. Todd mentions, and Todd was on the stream. I think we can see him here. So this was a pretty serious live with trying to just communicate with the players. I think if I pause it here somewhere. Let's see if I could catch it there. But yeah, for Todd to be on the stream, that's a pretty big deal, right? Todd, and then I forgot what's her name there. But yeah, super heavy news here. Todd mentions that the game is designed for both mobile and PC, but emphasizes that mobile takes priority. This means the game needs to be more simplified. This means the game needs a more simplified system than what is currently in place. To improve player retention, competitive modes like PvP need to be completely reworked, and clear progression goals should be introduced to guide the players through their journey. Yeah, and this is very relatable and comparable to Dofus Touch when it comes to mobile games, right? I know people are set with the whole nostalgia thing. Like they're set like, okay, this game has to be this way, right? And recently, with Dofus Touch itself, let's just round it up, right? The game's been around for it's going on to a decade, and the way the game overall is moving, the game overall design and its philosophy, it's been getting simpler, and it's been getting to the point where like it's been catered for that mobile audience, and that mobile audience is a more casual audience, right? When it comes to mobile phones, if your game isn't snappy, fast, quick, responsive, bada bing, bada boom, get in, get out, it's not a good mobile game, right? That what makes a mobile game a mobile game. It's those attributes, right? It's not the traditional Dofus where you're like a quest is gonna take you a month to do. Getting gear is gonna take you 3 months, right? No, this is the mobile environment. It's a way faster pace that the developers and the game has to keep up with, and this is the environment they're shooting for here. Obviously, I know a lot of if you guys are from the PC side, you might not understand the scope of the mobile market, but the mobile market, its player base and consumer base, the scope of it is huge. It's huge, and it makes perfect sense why Ankama would prioritize it over the PC player base, because mobile market, it's just a way bigger slice of the pie to go after. It makes sense. Additionally, monetization is currently an issue as the existing system is not profitable. Yeah, so they did release. Here, let me pause here for a minute. All right, and here we're back. So Todd himself, if you're not familiar with Todd is like the president and the founder, the creator of the whole Dofus universe. Todd actually posted numbers for players, active users for their games. And if we look at here, Waven is sitting like around 7 to 8,000 players, right? Which is not what you want for a new game. This pretty much tells them like, hey, what we have going on is not really, it's not really appealing to the type of people we want to appeal to, right? For a new game, the numbers are not too bad, but obviously you can see them, they're in a downward trend pretty much. As you know, the game's still early, guys. The game's still early. They're still trying to find their footing. I did talk about this in my previous news video about Waven. Here's a little screenshot over here with Waven, and I forgot her name. Deck building overhaul. The team wants to bring the game closer to the card game aspect. Yeah, and that makes sense too, because the whole thing is like you build a deck, but it doesn't feel like a. Well, I don't know if there's intention to do like a TCG kind of feel to it, where like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon trading card game, Yu-Gi-Oh type of thing. It just felt like you just get a random set of spells that are no different than just having just regular spells. To achieve this, the entire companion system has been redesigned to integrate directly into the deck. Your deck will always contain 16 cards. Among these, you are free to include as many spells or companions as you like. You could have 16 spells or 16 companions if you prefer. With companions now directly in the deck, the hand size will increase from 7 to a maximum of 9 cards. A major set of spells will be accessible to all heroes. No longer will you need to level up your 2 oiled spells on your Yop, then on your Cross, Ram, etc. Now there will be 2 common oiled spells for characters. Oiled, I think this means they're little, I know it's called like oil. Each kind of element has like this little name for their state they put on. So oil is like the fire state. For all characters, this is just one example, as the majority of the spells that had different versions for various classes will now be merged into a single common spell. This will simplify the game by significantly reducing the number of spells and make it easier to switch between characters. As you already know, most of the spells, and there's no need to level up again. So I don't know if this is talking about... Okay, so this is talking about how, like... So in Waven, Obviously, you have the four elements, right? You got fire, wind, earth, and air. You would have a spell for each element. You would have each spell that's exactly the same thing. It's just a different. It's just a variant on that because it's on a different element, right? So I think that's what they're talking about here. How they're just unify that thing, and it just creates one state that puts them into that. That puts enemies into that special state where you get perks off of it. The gauges will be removed and replaced by the command points, which would be compared to ether gauge. To the ether gauge. The mechanics are similar to gauges, but the diversity of elements is removed. All companions will cost command points, which are earned by casting spell. Yeah, so I guess they're consolidating this stuff too. Instead of getting like a fire gauge, water gauge, and stuff like that, you just get a gauge. I mean, they did have a colorless thing going on, but the elements of spells become less significant in the deck building and will mainly be used for creating elemental combos, similar to affinity rings, the bi-elemental rings. It is important to note that the progression of all spell companions remains unchanged. Okay, that is good to know. Cause I mean that's pretty much where people were grinding to level up those spells and what equipment too. They didn't say anything about equipment. It looks like they changed the art here too. It looks very there's a Marvel card game that has like what is like Marvel. It's like a Marvel kind of like Hearthstone type of game. It has kind of like this comic booky. It looks cool. Kind of look to it. There's companion cards over here. A little bit more polish. Character overhaul. Characters and equipment will also undergo significant changes due to the overhaul. Notably, the talent tree will be removed and the maximum level will be increased to level 100. The character's power will be balanced accordingly. Your character will progress with a passive ability, which will still be present, 4 exclusive spells unique to each character, a special ability, which is essentially an ultimate ability. Oh, that's cool. This ability fills up throughout the battle and triggers a powerful effect upon action. You know what? This is what I think there was a video on Dofus Touch where I said they should have like a special move you could do when you're like low on health. It's kind of like the limit break from Final Fantasy type of thing. This is cool. It can be activated multiple times during combat in the screenshots of below. His ability fills up by attacking and launching spells tree. It's kind of like the Smash Brothers. They have like their little finisher moves, right? They're over the top, flashy thing they throw out. Okay, I'm aboard. I'm aboard. Okay, here's some. Here's a little bit change to the UI, change to the graphics over here. Equipment overhaul. There are now 4 types of equipment: armbands, rings, potions, emblems. Okay. Armbands that primarily affect the hero's statistics, rings that primarily affect spells, potions that provide bonuses for combat, emblems that bring various effects, including new special abilities once equipped. The progression system for equipment has been completely revamped. They now feature random stats. When you obtain an item, it will have variable statistics. For example, in the image below, the bracer has an attack range from 10 to 50. Okay, sounds very traditional Dofus equipment like. If you acquire the same equipment with better stats, the lower version is automatically destroyed and converted into resources. Once you have the highest version of the item, obtaining another of the same item at max stats will increase the stats by 1. For example, if you already have bracer plus 50, and you drop a new bracer plus 50, it will increase to plus 51. It is theoretically possible to upgrade your equipment infinitely. That is interesting. Obviously, the higher you go, right, the chances of you rolling that number for you to level it up it's going to become way harder. So I can see that being kind of like a grindy kind of loop there going on. Okay. The system is designed to significantly improve long-term player retention, but that's not all. This overhaul will introduce new game modes along with new items to farm. Crew members. Are these like sidekicks, maybe? Okay, I guess I don't really say too much about it. Expedition mode. During your farming sessions, you will capture monsters to evolve your crew. Oh, like literally crew members. Yeah, because if you guys don't know, Waven is a world where it's a water world, literally and figuratively, and everything's flooded. So you go around with boats. So there's this whole like pirate theme to it. So crew member. Okay, expedition mode. Okay, let's see where we are. Evolve your crew. Once on your Haven Island, choose a ship, select a crew, and send your monsters out to gather resources for you. Captains are mostly characters you would find in the off-path areas of dungeons. Crew members are various monsters you can select for your crew, and they can belong to different monster families. You can watch replays of your crew's battles to learn how to improve them, or simply admire their skills. This is cool. This sounds cool. You got your little like little entourage, and you kind of shoot. What video did I think this was another touch video where I talked about how uh, I reference so one of my favorite games of all time and why I'm a big fan of Ankama and their games, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. In that game, obviously you built a you build a clan through like random NPCs. But one cool thing you could do with all these characters is send them off on their own to do missions, and depending on their like proficiency on some stats, their level, stuff like that, they would have a higher rate to accomplish that bounty you sent them to, or or they would fail. Right? If you just got to send somebody just to have that NPC do something while you're sleeping, right? They have a chance to fail, right? So it sounds like it's something similar to that, which is I'm excited about because then it gives you something to like micromanage a little bit, right? Outside of combat, outside of again, this feels very mobile, right? Where you just pop in between your lunch break or something, pop in, send your pigs off to do missions, and then oh shoot, I gotta get back to work. I'm done. But I feel like I did something, right? Something meaningful within the game with just 10 minutes, right? And this is a very mobile attribute, right? Efficiency, time efficiency. This is why a lot of these games are very simple, because that's what people want, because they're busy. They don't have time to be grinding hours upon hours and hours, right? And this is why mobile games are huge and very popular, especially as people get older, right? I would imagine is hopefully the more older you get, not hopefully, but ideally the more you get more responsibilities. The less time, sadly, the less time you have for activities like playing games. That's just a fact of life, right? If it's the other way around, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But this is why I kind of advocate for a lot of this stuff too. This is why I gravitate towards Office Touch, because especially me, I'm not a young buck and I'm not a spring chicken, right? I'm looking to be as efficient with my time as possible because I have other responsibilities, right? I can't just sit around all day playing games. Like I'm a grown ass man with stuff to do. So I love this idea. Now this could keep me busy for the amount of time I want to put into the game. Pop in, pop back out, hopefully. So I do like how you could like watch them. I wish you could name them. That'd be so cool. You could give them names. That'd be so cool. Like especially like that could be a cool like stream thing where like you can name your pigs after your like fans or your people in your chat. Maybe some of them don't make it back either. Some of them die. This could be its own little like game in itself. Super cool. Survival and wave combat. These modes allow you to face waves of monsters in either co-op or competitive play. During these battles, you will fight numerous monsters and simultaneously earn a unique currency specific to this mode. This currency can be used during combat to purchase new bonuses for the ongoing battle. You will evolve throughout the same fight to survive as long as possible. This evolving system within a single battle is reminiscent of roguelikes, which roguelikes are they're a very mobile type of genre and game, right? Something that blew up during the early games of like the Apple Store, the App Store and stuff like that were tower defense games and roguelike games. And we're actually getting a roguelike feature for Dofus Touch, so there you go. Note that these battles will be fought with pre-built decks similar to many other competitive modes planned for Waven. Here's some screenshots here. I don't know what this is. PvP. Oh, here we go for you competitive folks out there. This mode is expanding significantly with the addition of a true ladder system and various rewards to earn. The mechanics are also changing drastically as battles will now be 1-on-1 or 2v2. But always with pre-built decks. Nearly 100 decks will be prepared, and when you wish to start an arena match, several random characters with random decks chosen. Let me go back. Nearly 100 decks will be prepared, and when you wish to start an arena match, several random characters with random decks chosen from these pre-built decks will be offered to you. Then you can review each deck and select the one that interests you for the match. This is very TCG-ish, right? This is like drafting. It's kind of cool. It makes sense. It makes sense. This is actually kind of cool. So this kind of gives you... This kind of throws in elements of RNG, which is very... RNG is a big part of card games, right? When you shuffle your deck, draw 7 cards, right? You don't have control of those 7 cards you draw initially. And then you got to work with what you get, right? That's the big appeal of card games, right? Making do with what you get. Sounds cool. So far, this sounds awesome. This sounds awesome. I guess they're just showing here some of the points here, some of the UI. You guys notice how they're showing like the mobile screenshots here too? The lore. Ooh, the lore. Waven lacks a real goal. It's not the only one. Dofus Touch. A reason to progress. Every game needs a clear objective to reach. Yo, Tot. Somebody get Tot on Dofus Touch, please. Can we get him? Can we have him on Dofus Touch just a week? Like collecting the 6 Dragon Eggs in Dofus or defeating Diablo in Diablo. Please, Todd, can you work on Dofus Touch, please? Todd reveals that there is a big villain that will need to be defeated. Yo, are the Waven team listening to my feedback and my critique and my rant on Dofus Touch, and they're like, you know what? We could do it better. We could do it better than Dofus Touch team. Literally, you could go back. I've been doing this for 4 years. So you could go back 4 years of me ranting about how there's no big incentive for the player. There's no big bad guy, right? There's nothing on Dofus Touch regarding this. No. But Waven, yo, it's like they get it. It's like, oh shit, we need this in the game, right? This is important. There is a big villain that will need to defeat at the end of the adventure. The villain has never been revealed before and is, of course, connected to the Wackford series and other creation sets in the same universe. However, we won't face the big villain for many years. Right, they gotta build up to it, right? It's like Marvel in the Infinity War saga, right? Like they built him up for like 11 movies, right, over the course of like 10 years. So it makes sense. But I think if you see him, right, if you see him in the kind of story arcs, like he's in the shadows, he's like puppeteering everything, right? That's fine. That's fine. We will learn about them soon, and we will occasionally encounter the. Well, what am I? Your boy knows what he's talking about, guys. It's almost like he knows a little thing or two about game development. Hmm. Hmm. And we'll occasionally encounter them, especially on a high-level island that will appear, where we will battle several of their lieutenants in various dungeons that will be introduced over the years. Eventually, we'll face a big villain, but that won't happen for a long time. Yep, makes sense. 2025 roadmap. The team promises regular progress updates to keep us informed about the overhaul throughout the year via Ankama Live forums, etc. With a beta in September and possibly a release in December. Note that the Sackers and Osamotos are still sidelined during the overhaul, but the significant simplification of the game will make it easier to implement the new heroes in the future. And that is all. You know what? This makes me excited. This is super cool. I'm still a firm believer that Waven has a lot of potential to be up here with these numbers, right? Because even look at Dofus Touch, right? Even if we take these numbers at face value, 60K active users for Dofus Touch. That's a pretty big deal. 60K for Dofus Touch, and this is what they're going after here. But I think Waven could surpass this if they do it right. And I think they recognize this. And they're pivoting, right? They want to make this game as best as they can for the mobile player. If they keep adding just fun little features, fun, simple features, I think it's got all the puzzle pieces it needs to succeed and to be a successful and fruitful game that people enjoy. I know. Should I go to the comments? I know people, I know people are gonna be mad because they really max out everything and Waven and they're bored. They've been waiting and stuff like that. Is there a need for those kind of people who just like go in there and just max just like they're not? Like the closest thing I can make an analogy is like whales, right? Where you got these people where they're just gonna throw money at the game and just max up everything, like on day one, right? They're just gonna do that, and then I know there's a name for these people who are like at like day one they're just like max out everything, like they just do all the content in the game right as fast as they can, and then they get bored and they get frustrated because there's no new stuff after they kind of blew through everything after like a day or two. So but we'll read some of the comments here. Let's see what the people are saying. Let's see. I'm skeptical. Seems builds will be watered down and almost everyone should play the same. No more attack, build, etc. I'm okay with the focus on mobile, but many games do have very intricate character builds, and I hope we still get customized playstyle in the new Waven. I'm sure you're gonna be able to make different builds. I don't see why not, right? Especially when you have to customize your deck. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't think they're gonna regress in that aspect, but have intricate character builds. I don't know. I don't play other MMOs on mobile, so I don't know if that's true or not. The focus on mobile doesn't fill me with hope. Mobile games are always watered down and always have the artificial difficulty increase to make you spend to clear. I guess we'll see. But the thing is, like, when it comes to Ankama and the way they've done Dofus Touch, they have been, honestly, despite all the hate they get and all the criticism they get, the kind of monetization they have done with Dofus Touch is very consumer friendly. It's literally it's a bunch of cosmetics. Sure, you got the bonus pack, but at the end of the day, they do have to get some kind of monetary return on the game. but it's not like it's not very aggressive with those crystal gems or guillotines, where like they're always optional, as opposed with like I don't know, something like Candy Crush or something, where it's like very aggressive monetization, where like, oh, you do this thing, and like imagine, right, imagine you do a quest and your character gets tired, right? It has like a quest stamina, and it refills over time. But if you pay with some crystal gems, you can instantly refill the meter and you can keep going, right? I don't see it going that direction, so I'm confident they're going to be very conscious with not being too aggressive. And so far, Waven, the version we have now, it's all been cosmetics. They have the battle pass, but it's never been like a must-have type of thing. Yes, I really feel like the gameplay and complexity were fine as it is. It just needed more to it. I like their approach to improving the long-term retention. I don't understand why that needed to come up with a complete revamp of the gameplay loop. This actually bumps me out more than I think about it. Waven was already incredible simplified compared to Ankama's. He's got a point. Bagel Maverick, he's got a point. Too far in that direction, and there won't be anything to draw a player in the player. But the thing is, simplification is what draws players in, right? Is that accessibility and the ability to just pop in, be able to click with the game very quickly, and hopefully retain that player, right? And this is speaking from the perspective of Dofus Touch. Dofus Touch still retains a lot of that PC 1.29 aspects, and why it failed to retain players, right? And I think here, this is where they're trying to deviate from what they learned. I'm sure they're taking pain points, learning points from Dofus Touch, right? And it's like, okay, we need to simplify this thing, right? Because this is what people really gravitate towards to. And that's something Dofus Touch has been gravitating towards too. Gravitating towards too, as well as simplification, right? I'm pretty confident with that. And again, but this is coming from somebody who understands mobile game and the mobile market and what makes them appealing, right? Oh no, this makes me not want to play the game until release. I like this game. Now, making the max level to 100 is good in my opinion. Getting level 100 is kind of easy. Also, making stats improve with level instead of tech trees seems good to me. Now with the account reset, try to spend my gems. Let's see. You should keep playing if you're enjoying it. There's something wrong with enjoying something in a moment. Yeah, just treat it. Honestly, Waven felt like such a single player game. Just treat it like a single player game. It's going to come to an end eventually, but just enjoy your time with it. Things paid with gems may or not be compensated, but if you buy cosmetics, it will carry over. Yeah, I know, but it feels like a waste. Like if I still play in half a year, where do we keep? I do have most common equipment max. So if infinity close to max, do I still new characters? Progression will be kept, but a lot of hobbies don't transfer over. Cookie, shout out to Cookie. Cookie gets it. You deserve to do things that make you happy. Yeah, like I know I'm kind of been taking a break from Ankama, Dofus, stuff like that for a little bit. But I do want to finish my Let's Play I was doing for Waven. Especially since a lot of things are going to change, so it'd be awesome to kind of document that too. Okay. This sounds so much fun. My only problem is the possible oversimplification of the combat system. I hope there will still be some complex things to do, even though it's more mobile. I'm sorry, guys. Let me get some water. All right, this sounds so much fun. My only problem is the possible oversimplification of the combat system. I hope there will be still simple, complex things to do, even though it's more mobile focused and PC focused. I play Waven in both. No, I think they're mostly good changes. I can't wait to see how they turn out in practice. I'm excited. Yeah, okay. I mean, there's not that many comments, but I think people are on board. I think people are on board. I think people do want to see the game succeed. So I think they're understandable with the changes that need to happen. The progression thing kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's a live service game. It's got to pivot the way it needs to pivot. It's just part of game development, guys. It's just part of it's like trial and error. Like, okay, let's put this out, see if it works or not. It's not working. Okay, what can we do to keep people more engaged? I know. Like simplification is kind of like the antithesis when it comes to like MMO players, but in this day and age, simplification is king. Especially when it comes to just bringing in people to enjoy the game. Which at the end of the day, the more people enjoy the game, the better it is for the health of the game, the developers, and the community, right? But I think I'm gonna leave it at that, folks. I'm not gonna rant forever or anything, but uh, I'm excited what they do. Like I'm not butthurt or anything like that. It sounds cool. I'm looking forward to what they do. But let me know what you guys think. You guys surprised? Guys don't like us? Like us? Let me know in the comments below. But until next time, this has been Challenge EX. Take care of yourself and peace.